What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing really well. We're going to continue this series for alt characters. And in the last video, we talked about how to level up alt characters. And again, I want to just clarify, because a couple of you guys had some good things in the comments. I wasn't really trying to make a video about how to level up your alt characters as fast as humanly possible. I was trying to tell you about there's lots of different ways that you can do it. If you want to just take a more relaxed route, you can run around and farm, mining, herbs, that kind of thing, and make some gear. First time crafting gets you experience. So I just want to make sure that there are extremely fast and efficient ways to level up your character, but to me they can be pretty boring. Like spamming dungeons over and over and over again isn't that enjoyable to me, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of Mythic Plus once I get to max level anyway. So I want to, again, in this video, try to provide you guys with a wide range of possibilities on how to now gear your alt character. So let's talk about that right away, and let's jump into the first one, which is professions. And again, the efficiency of professions is pretty crazy. So on this guy, I've got mining and blacksmithing. So my mining, as I showed in the last video, I've got it all the way up, I've got it up to 48 by now. And while I'm mining, I'm picking up all these different ores, right? So you can see already I've got, these are actually for increasing my knowledge, which is really cool. But I've got Draconium and Casgray, which is really rare, and a whole bunch of Severite. Now, I can take this and sell it on the AH and make money, or I can make gear with it. And this is really good because now I can transform my experience gaining, which is, as I'm mining nodes, I'm getting experience, and I can kill two birds with one stone and make gear. So you can do both things at the same time. Now, you can make leveling up gear, which right here, this is 313. That would just be for what level I am right now. That's barely going to be better than what I'm wearing. My boots and bracers, yeah, there's a good upgrade right there. So I have 252 armor on right now. I can make it 313 right now, and that's really cool. That would be a good upgrade for me. Now, you can also make max level gear, level 70 gear, which is going to be obviously a massive upgrade. And as you level up your blacksmithing, you can see you're going to be able to get recipes that will be much better than what you have right now. Let's research a couple of these. Let me see if I can look at those. So let's see what we just picked up there. This is going to upgrade just my skill. I know I have some weapons I can make. This is a max level weapon, so here you go. I can go from 242 to 337. So these are some examples, guys, of stuff that you can do, stuff that you can make that is really easy to make. It requires basically nothing. I almost have enough to make this right now, and you can just put it aside in the bank and have it ready to go. And the moment that you hit max level, you just go ding, 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 and suddenly you're going to be sitting at 337 item level. So that's really cool. This is an option for you. Professions are definitely the way to go. If you're going to be, if you're a plate wearer, you want to do mining and blacksmithing. If you're a mail or leather wearing character, you want to be doing skinning and leatherworking. Leatherworking covers male characters as well, like shamans and hunters and evokers. And then if you're a cloth wearer, you want to do tailoring. Now, tailoring isn't like the only way to get tailoring mats is to kill humanoids. However, on the auction house, it's actually extremely easy to pick up wilder cloth. I don't know if I have any. I have some here. So this stuff here, tattered wilder cloth, and then even the wilder, the better wilder cloth, this stuff right here, the green stuff. These are so incredibly cheap on the AH. I actually bought a whole bunch on my Shadow Priest. So if you want to do, if you're a cloth character leveling up an alt, go to the auction house and buy some wilder cloth and some tattered wilder cloth, and then you'll be able to use it in tailoring to make a bunch of gear for yourself, just like I did with blacksmithing, okay? So that's step number one, is going to be professions. Step number two is while you're leveling, you're going to notice that there's obviously world quests around, and they're going to have gear for you. So there's a Desjardins bludgeoning hammer. There's a new weapon from right there. Boom, that's an upgrade. I could go get that right now. This is, again, for the Frost specialization, not for my two-handed one. So these are kind of random, and you're not exactly sure what you're going to get, but here you go. Here's a trinket. This is just a standard trinket. This looks pretty solid for me right now. Just a straight eye level upgrade. So one thing to notice, to remember actually about the item levels of the world quest, is that they scale with your item level. So if I bump up my item level on my character through crafting, let's say, then all the item levels of the world quest gear will also skyrocket as well. So this is only 286 right now, but if I bump up my item level to like 275 or 280, this thing's suddenly going to go up to 290 something on the map. So just keep that in mind. World quests are another good source of gear, and there's some good ones scattered around here. Okay, so that's one thing to talk about. Now, I'm going to shift over to another character to talk about elite world quests and a couple of other things that I want to mention. So, all right, guys, one last thing I wanted to talk about before we jump over to the other character is that you can actually farm gear with reputation, and it's not really the most efficient way to do it, but it is something you can do. So, for example, with the Mythic Centaur, I'm level 3. I can go and turn in these hunting trophies from different hunts that I've been doing, get a bunch of easy rep, and of course, I can just do Mythic Centaur quests as well, and regular quests that are scattered all over the zone, and then you can take your reputation and cash it in over here at the main quartermaster. And you can see he's already got some extra stuff for me because I've been doing quests here. Now you can say show me your wares. There will always be a piece of gear here for every single character. I actually got a piece of gear on my Shadow Priest early on in the expansion. So all you have to do is get to Renown rank level 11. And that might sound like a lot, but it doesn't actually take that much to get Renown ranks anymore, especially if you have a bonus, which I have right here. Your main character can give you a bonus to your reputation gains with other factions. So I have Word of a Worthy Ally, Mythic Centaur reputation increased by 100% up to rank 10. So you can fast track your reputation gains really quickly and get close to rank 11 and then go pick up this piece of gear. This is a 376 piece of gear. It's definitely worth investing in this to get some gear on your old characters. Just make sure you've got this Word of a Worthy Ally buff. Okay, so let's go to my other character now. Okay, we're on the other character. Let me talk about a couple of elite world quests that you can do. We just talked about world quests on the minimap for characters. Now, once you get to max level 70, in order to get some gear, there are actually elite world quests on the map. So number one, there's of course always the weekly world boss, and they will have for you lots of gear. This guy is Lisk right now. He's on the map, and he's going to have 389 gear for you. So that's what you can see. There's mail, leather, plate, and cloth. There's something for everybody, and there's a back piece. So you might get lucky and get a piece right there. Make sure you kill the world boss every week. Then, of course, there's the Cobalt Assembly down here, which used to be a really good way to farm experience. And there's also there's a rep grind that you can do with the Cobalt Assembly that will get you a 389 ring. Now, it's not as easy to do anymore, and it's actually probably not even worth doing. That's why I'm not totally recommending it. But you can go farm rep with the Cobalt Assembly, and you'll be able to get that ring once you get to a certain rep level. But again, it's probably not worth it. What you can also do, though, is fly down to the Cobalt Assembly, and there will always be like a weekly elite quest down here. And it gives you a 379 piece of gear, as you can see right here. I don't know if the item level is going to be the exact same for you, because the item level on my Shadow Priest is quite high. But just remember that there's always going to be that there, and it's like a weekly that you go do. It's a big elite quest, so find a group of people to do it with or whatever. There's also always PvP quests that are scattered around, and you do have to go activate PvP mode if you want to do them. But they tend to have a lot of good gear as well, which is super cool. I don't know if it's going to show a second one. There's often one in the Inaran Plains right over like here. So it just depends on what PvP zone is kind of active. But this is another option for you. It'll have represented by the little swords here. So there might be a piece of gear associated with that. And then of course there's the new Storm's Fury event, which is happening in Thaldraszus, this continent right here. Down here, it's going to be the Storm's Fury event taking place down on the bottom. And I don't actually have it on this character. Let me see if I have it on any other characters. One second. So we're down here, guys. When you go, I don't have it on my other characters right now, unfortunately, but when the event does spawn, this is the world boss down here, but you can go into the Primalist Future here, take this portal, and there's a vendor here. I'm going to show you the vendor. He's got really good gear. These Primal Storms are really easy gear for all characters. Like, it's not hard at all. So if the Storm's Fury event is going on, it's not going on right now, but you know, I'm sure you've done it by now. If you don't know about it, it happens in the Primalist Future here, and this is the vendor, Brendormi. And he uses the Elemental Overflow, which was the original Elemental Invasion and Elemental Storm currency that we have. And then on top of that, you have to spend these new currency, which is called Essence of the Storm. You'll get a whole bunch of these when you do the event that's here. And then you can pick up those rings or, you know, a neck if you want. And this is why I don't think doing the Cobalt Assembly is even good anymore. You should just go do this. And this can get you a ring. So you can see this is even an upgrade for my Paladin here. 389 rings. There is a trinket here that is actually quite strong. It drops this like puddle on the ground that's really good. There's a neck piece, and then there's a couple of other things. So this is all your kind of jewelry that you're looking at right here if you want, and a trinket. for your alt characters. So you can kind of take care of it right here. Whenever this storm event pops up, you can go do it, and you'll get basically enough currency to almost buy one of these rings or amulets or trinkets each time. So definitely come down here and do the Storm's Fury event. Very important. All right, speaking of storms, we have the original elemental storms that are also in the game, and they are going to be scattered around depending on where you're going. There's a blue one right there, an icy one in Tierhold, and I think there's usually 2 on the map at all times. There's the fire one down there in the Azure Span. So you can go and farm these elemental storms, and you will get the elemental overflow currency, which I've got right here. I have 750 of it, basically. And then you'll get these storm sigils as well. And this is the vendor area where you can also pick up a quest to get the to get more storm sigils. Okay, boom, boom, boom. And this is the original vendor you can get to buy gear. So this is actually one of the absolute easiest ways, besides maybe professions. This has got to be one of the easiest ways to get a whole bunch of gear. And let's say, bare minimum, you're missing like 1 or 2 pieces of gear at a really low item level. So for example, for me, I've got this oh, this is on my priest. I'm not going to have anything low. But on my other character, I had like low bracers. Maybe you have low gloves. Whatever it is, you can pick up these things. They're so cheap, guys. 350 of this overflow is nothing. 200 overflow for a cape, super, super easy to do. Some of the bigger pieces are 500. But what you do is, I've farmed these a bunch of times on my characters. Just go farm them for maybe like an hour, and you'll have enough to get 2 or 3 different pieces. Then come to Mithressa and buy the couple pieces of gear that you need. And then you can actually use the storm sigils to upgrade this gear from 359 to 389, or 385, I think. I forget what it is, but the new upgrade is over here. The upgrade person used to be over there in that building, but it's not anymore. It's actually just this guy here. So if you have a piece of storm gear, you can drag it and put it in here, and it will cost storm sigils to upgrade. Let me just actually grab a piece of gear and show you what that's like. Okay, so you can see here I've got the Wrap of Raging Tempest. I put it in here now, and now it says I need 5 Storm Sigils to upgrade it to a 385. So it goes from 359 to 385. So this is a very quick and easy way, guys, to get a couple pieces of gear, potentially, that you're missing, that you didn't get from Professions or whatever else. You can get a couple pieces of gear right here and go 359 to 385 very quickly. Like, it doesn't take that much. You can farm these storm sigils quite easily. When you're farming the elemental storms, each one of them, when you're killing mobs, they have a chance to drop a 2 storm sigils. So a quest that gives you 2 storm sigils. So you can get 8 storm sigils per week. And again, this only costs 5 to upgrade this. So a very solid way to get extra gear. Both 359 might be a fantastic start, and then you can upgrade it all the way to 385. So wonderful stuff right there, elemental storms. Now, a couple of other quick ways to get loot that you might not know about. There's also grand hunts going on. Especially once you hit max level 70, you can participate in grand hunts. And you'll just zoom out to the minimap where you can see the entire continent, and it'll show you which zone the grand hunts are in. And you just fly to that zone, and once you get there, there'll be like a pop-up box of a Maruk person being like, yo, here's what's going on with the hunt, and you can fly down there and participate in the hunt, and you get a bag of spoils, and there's sometimes gear in there that can be an upgrade for you as well. The other one would be the Dragonbane Keep, and you can see there's a little icon on the minimap that'll show Siege on Dragonbane Keep. It's happening right now, and you can get the Dragonbane Strongbox, which also can contain loot for you as well. So those are some 2 really quick ways to also get loot. All right? Besides all of these things, guys, these are essentially all the alternate ways that you can get loot in the game very, very quickly. The most quick and efficient way is probably still going to be to farm and grind dungeons. And in particular, you want to do a bunch of flat Mythic 0 dungeons every week. So these are all the Mythic dungeons that you can do. These aren't the seasonal ones. The Mythic Plus ones are different. But the first 8 dungeons of Dragonflight, you can go run all of these on Mythic level difficulty, and you can run them once per week, and they will drop loot that is sitting at 372 item level. So again, this is going to be an incredibly efficient way to get gear, because every single one of these bosses drops loot on flat Mythic. In Mythic Plus, you only get loot at the end of the dungeon, but on a flat Mythic, a Mythic 0 essentially, you just walk into the dungeon with your friends, and every boss will drop something, so you have a much higher chance of getting gear from all the different dungeons there. So keep that in mind, guys. You can just go and do these dungeons. There's 8 of them that you can do each week, And that's a lot of boss kills, and you might have a chance to get some loot there. 372, not bad at all. So again, probably the best way to do it. But if you want a more, I would call it fun, chilled, relaxed way to be getting gear, again, let me just summarize it for you right here. Professions are a big one. Go out, get professions, get a crafting profession, and make some gear for yourself. Check all the world quests, and check your item level. Try to raise your item level a little bit through professions or something else so that the item level of the world quests will go up. There's elite world quests in the Cobalt Assembly. Down here, there's a big one that you can go get. This piece right here, there's of course the elite weekly mob that you can kill, and then there's the Storm's Fury event that happens in the Primalist future. Make sure you go do that as well. There's basically trinkets and rings that you can pick up there. There's the regular elemental storms. You can farm those to go get your elemental overflow and your storm sigils and use those, cash those in to get some 359 item level gear and then upgrade it to 385 later. And then of course, as I said, there's the Grand Hunt going on as well as the Dragonbane Keep. That will also have a chance to get you gear. And you can farm rep with the Maruk Centaurs if you want. Go farm rep and then go to their quartermaster located in the capital city and buy that piece of gear for your character. I think it's level 11 you have to get to. So there you go, guys. That's it. That's a whole bunch of different ways to get gear on your alt characters. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know if there's any other ways that you've discovered of getting loot in a very quick and efficient way for alt characters. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.